Yesterday, what was the form that you learned that made it a little easier? Remember?
Yeah, the step pattern.
Step pattern. We found, first you find the vertex, and then we use that step pattern. What was that step pattern?
1, 3, 5, 7.
Yep. 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay. If you have a leading coefficient, how does that change your step pattern? You have to multiply it by that leading coefficient. Okay. For your back page, 11 through 16. When we graph quadratic functions, what do we always try to find first? The vertex, which is x equals what? Yep, x equals negative b over 2a. Can we find that on number 11? Like, do we have an a, b, and a c right now? Like, is it in the normal form that we're used to? No. So we have to get it in our normal form. How do we do that?
You gotta distribute them.
Not distribute. What? Focus on this part. How can we simplify this part? What does that mean?
Oh, 2 equations.
Right, 2 different equations. So if I have x minus 1 squared, that means multiply it by itself. Now how do we solve that? Boil it out. So we have x times x squared, x times negative 1, negative x, negative 1 times x, negative 1 times negative 1, plus 1. And then one more step that we need to do. Combine like terms, negative x minus x, negative 2x, plus 1. Now understand that just replaced what I had circled originally up there. So is that our final answer there? No. Okay, so I'm going to take that and substitute it back in. So I have 2 times what I just got, x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus 2. What's my next step? Distribute. 2 times x squared. 2x squared. 2 times negative 2x. Negative 4x. 2 times 1. 2. And then I still have that minus 2. Right, what happens to those 2's? They cancel when we combine like terms. So we're just left with 2x squared minus 4x. So this is what we're looking at now after we simplified. Yeah? So now it's just the normal form we've always used. So what do we need to find first? Vertex, which is x equals negative b over 2a. What's my b? Negative 4. So my negative b would be positive 4. Divided by 2, what's my a? 2. Yep. So we have 4 divided by 4, which is 1. So that's my x. How do I find the y through that? Yep, plug it into our equation that I have boxed up here. So if I plug in 1, what's 1 squared? 1 times 2? 2. So I have 2. And then minus 4 times 1? 4. So what's my y value? Negative 2. Yep, so let's graph that. That's our vertex. What's my picture going to end up looking like? Upright. Yep. U upright. Now, what did we learn yesterday? That was easier than plugging in numbers. Yep, step pattern. So that step pattern, I'll write it up here again because I know, Peter, you were gone yesterday. We have 1, 3, 5, and 7. Do I need to change my step pattern? Yes. Why? Because we have this leading coefficient right here. So what do I need to do to each step? Yep, multiply it by that leading coefficient. So what is my new step pattern going to be? 2, 6, 10, and 14. So now let's apply that step pattern. Where do we start? Vertex. I'm going to go to the right 1, and then how many do I go up? Up 2. That's my first step. Let's go one more. What do I do next? Over 1. My next step was up 6. Okay. Now I can do the same thing going the opposite direction, or what else could I do? Just mirror it, right? If it helps, draw that line for your axis of symmetry and then mirror it to the other side. Or I could do the same thing, over 1 up 2, over 1 up 6. If I had more room, what would my next step have been? Over 1 up 10. Yep. And then last step, draw it. What's the first thing that we need to do on number 12? Right, we need to change this right here. So we have x plus 4, and what does that squared mean? Do it again, x plus 4. So foiling it out, we get x squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 16. And then what do we get from there? Plus 8x plus 16. Is that our final equation? No, because we still have this times 2 and plus 1. So if I take this times 2 and I add my plus 1, let's do that. 2 times x squared, 2x squared plus 16x plus 32. And then I still have plus 1. So what do I get for my final equation?
2x squared plus 16x plus 33.
Yep. Okay, are we okay here? Okay. Once we have our equation, what is our next thing that we go to? Find the vertex. So we follow negative b over 2a. What's my negative b? Negative 16 over 2 times 2. So we have negative 16 over 4, which is negative 4. Okay, so our x is negative 4. How do I find the y? Plug it in. So if I have negative 4 squared, what's that? What's negative 4 squared? Positive 16, right? And then 16 times 2. So we have 32 here. 16 times negative 4. Negative 64 plus 33. So we get 32 plus 64. Nope. 16 times negative 4. 32 minus 64 plus 33. And we get 1. Is that where we were getting a weird number? Okay. Was it because of the negative? Okay. Watch out for that negative. So our vertex is negative 4, 1. So let's plot that. Negative 4 up 1. From here, what do we do next? Step pattern. What is our original step pattern? 1, 3, 5, 7. Can we keep that step? No, because why? That leading coefficient is 2, so what do we have to do to each step? Multiply by 2, so our new step is what? 2, 6, 10, and 14. So from our vertex, what do I do?
Over 1 up 3. What? So 2.
Over 1 up 2, and then over 1 up 6. Yep. You can do the same thing on the other side, or you can mirror it. And then draw your picture.